Okay, I think we're working now. There was a little bit of a technical hiccup where it wasn't connecting through Facebook. So if you can hear me and see me, let me know. We're a couple minutes early. Um, yeah, I'm going to wait just a minute. Okay, you should start, yeah, to hear me. Go ahead and give me a comment in the box if you are seeing this. I think everything's going fine. Hey, Carla, if you can see this or hear me, let me know. I'm gonna, okay, I hear you, Carla. Hey, Melanie, uh, will you let me know if you got a notification that I went live? Because I had a little glitch with Facebook, and normally we have about a dozen people on here to start, and it seems like maybe no one got the notification. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. There's a few people starting to show up. Normally I just click the button and it starts and everything seems to be okay, but it didn't seem to go that way today. So um, wanted to make sure that everything was all right and people were able actually to connect. I want people to be in here live if they're able to instead of just watching replays. And usually that notification makes quite a difference. Anyways, uh, Carla, Melanie, Bettina, Andrew, that's all I can see listed. There might be more, I don't know. Glad to have you here today. Um, you haven't missed anything. Hey, Jason, um, we haven't actually started yet. I was just making sure that our technical problems weren't the case. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot from yesterday. That we need to go over. I watched all your videos. I knew that the who process would be somewhat difficult, especially not knowing exactly where we're heading with uh, the training, but that's okay. So, hey, welcome, Sarah. Um, yeah, Jason, I don't know exactly who did and didn't get it, but it just, Facebook was a little screwy today. It didn't even tell me that I was live. I just it just went to a blank page. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna take a little pause and then we're gonna get started. So, Welcome to day 3 of the 5 days to 5K challenge. We've talked about mindset. We've talked about your who. And now we're talking about what? Today is all about the offer, the what. What are you going to sell? What are you going to offer them? How are you going to get them involved with you in some type of monetary fashion? Because we're all business people. No one is in here, even if you haven't started yet, you're in here because you either want to start a business or you have a business you want to grow. And so we have to have something for sale. Now, let's clear something up really, really fast. Selling something doesn't make you a bad person. People get this idea when you say, you sell, that there's a negative connotation to that. But the reality is that's, I'm from the USA. It's built on capitalism. The world goes round because of buying and selling. What we want to do is make sure that when we offer something of value, the person that is giving us a monetary compensation for that always feels like what they're getting is worth more than what we're offering, because then it's a win-win situation. We're going to get into a little bit about how yesterday with your who and today with your what, or your offer, what you have to sell, could be a little interchangeable. And for some of you, it is. So let me be specific. For those of you that are already like in a network marketing company, you already have a product. And so you already know your what. And so working on your who to find your what might seem a little backwards. But there's a reason we look at the who first, because a lot of people in here, one, are trying to figure out what that offer is actually going to be. And it's sometimes easier to figure that out. You start with who you connect with best, who you understand, what you know about problems, the people that you love and care about. And if we look at just briefly some of the lives that you guys did in response to your, those that were and yourself in already. For instance, Melanie, very specific. She immediately thought of with her. Now, we want to go wider than that, and we talked about that in her comments, but the reason it was her best friend is because her best friend is also a mom, also struggling financially, and doesn't have belief in herself that she can be successful. Well, Melanie knows what all 3 of those things feels like and has started to move past it. So she has empathy for that who. Well, her friend's not the only one in that situation. There are plenty of people that fit that same who, financially struggling, don't have, the money that to provide for their kids, don't have any confidence in themselves, and are looking for something better. I mean, that's starting to really narrow down that who. And if you have a solution for them, I mean, you just got to put it in front of them. Okay. So, I'm going to take a look. We are going to have a guest today. I'm not quite sure how soon she's going to join me. But we're going to have a little, I won't call it question answer, but she's going to talk about some of her experiences, because she's been working online in a fairly unique industry, or her lifestyle, I should say, as being a kind of world traveler, and see how that led to some of her who, some of what she sells, and you guys will get ideas that she just notified me she's about ready to hop in, that it can be really anything. And you don't always have just one little who. The longer you do this game, the more who's you will have, because you'll collect different skills, you'll connect with different people. I'm going to hop back into Zoom real quick and let her in. Yeah, let's make sure this works. All right, Jody. Oh, your audio is connecting. Cool. Jody, you can hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
All right, that should work now.
There we go. Now I can hear you. All right. So Jody, I'm gonna cover one or two more things really quickly, and then I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Okay, cool.
So that's Jody, everybody. Anyways, yeah. So let's take this idea of, you might already have the business and the product, you might not, but we're going to be able to get more into, if you already have your product because you're like a network marketer, or let's say you're a real estate agent, then we can connect with your who a little bit better. And then for those of you that don't, how you can figure out your offer from what your who is, or the people that you already connect to. So yeah, let's go to Jody. And Jody, just go ahead and introduce yourself. Jody and I met through an affiliate cooperative, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that is later and how that affects our business. But that's how we just met over the last couple of months. And I'm just going to let you talk about yourself for a minute, Jody.
That's always interesting. Yes, so I go under the name, I've recently started calling myself Roaming Jody, because it's sort of just an easy way to sum up that I am a nomad. And yes, I've been traveling full time for the last 7.5 years, having left Australia actually in 2011, but I'd been online for a little bit before that, and just due to, I guess, some personal situation and other things, I went offline and very stupidly tried to start a business in the Middle East, a brick and mortar business. And it's kind of like when you have been given probably the best start online that anybody could get, learning things like funnels and direct response marketing and email marketing and blogging and affiliate marketing and all this stuff. It was just so silly when I look back over it that I went off and tried to do a brick and mortar, stuck in one location business. So no wonder it failed, because at the end of the day, it's like, if it hadn't have failed, I can't even bear the thought to be thinking that I'd still be in one place just taking little mini holidays, as opposed to 7.5 years of traveling the world full time as a full-blown digital nomad. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand that, because I look at some of the stuff that I used to do, and had it gone slightly better, I would have probably stuck with it a whole lot longer, even though I was miserable. It was not what I wanted. It wasn't until I was somewhat forced into a corner, which I try not to operate that way now, but sometimes having, the wall, come down and everything feel like it's falling apart gives you that second to go, wait a second. If I can be doing what I think I should be doing, get the job, do this, do that, and it can still fall apart. I saw a quote the other day that said, you can fail at what you don't love. So why not try doing something you do? And I mean, that just kind of resonated with, like, man, that is the truth. I mean, and I my heart goes out to them, but I think about all the brick and mortar businesses right now that are going under because of a very unique circumstance that is no fault of their own. But they could have worked their whole life for this, and now look at where they're at. And I feel just tragic for that, because it breaks my heart that they could, virtually lose everything overnight. But why I do what I do, what you do, because of that factor, and what we want to help other people to do, because we do realize the freedom and even security in being able to control more of that. I mean, because anybody can get a pink slip at any point. Anybody can be let go, no matter what longevity we have or whatever. So having something in place for ourselves, and which everybody in this group, I'm assuming, is here because that's what they want.
Yeah, that's it. And for some of us, two things is sometimes we need the contrast. Like in my case, the path that I did take coming online, it's only now that I have the wisdom in hindsight to look back over and go, man, I took a lot of things for granted because, when I sort of went and got into the bright, shiny object syndrome kind of addiction thing, I actually had already been given the best at the start, but I didn't know that because I had nothing to compare it to. So the contrast sometimes gives you that comparison thing to kind of go, oh, actually, it wasn't too bad where I was over there. But also some of us, and that includes me, is getting your back pushed up against the wall in sort of such a way of either, like I say, the pink slip or the business failing or the whatever. Sometimes that is what we need in order to push us in the direction of where we could be going. Now, I did have a very unique situation, is that those first few years of what I did learn is what I call the skill sets that gave me the ability to become my own backup plan. So when everything did fall apart, and I would never, nobody would ever have predicted that this would have happened this year anyway. But had my business been like some of those other people you're talking about, again, that education that I got back at the start gives me a sense of confidence to be able to go, right, I don't have to really sort of stress out with my back against the wall. It's like now I can actually be creative and move forward in a new direction and maybe start to put some things in place that, should ever something like this happen again, that it's not a full bang destruction crumble, that you've got maybe something on the side, or that you are still in that learning process and that you can, get a few things happening, even if you're not ready to fully transition into this kind of internet entrepreneur type of role.
Right. And you build those assets too in your skill sets, the things you learn, even the contacts that you make, that you might not realize that they're growing until down the road you start having conversations where you realize, I don't have to think about this anymore. I don't realize that, they talk about the levels of, conscious versus unconscious thought and so on. And you get to that point where you don't recognize the skills even that you have, that other people need this, because they ask you a question, you give them the answer and they say, how do you know that? And you don't even realize you know that anymore. And that's a good thing. Now, we have people that are totally starting out, and that's not, the thing is we all started there. Okay. None of us were handed a online business that was already thriving, and it's not that way. So
and on top of that, not many of us, I did hear you say that you've been quite entrepreneurial since you were a kid, but not many of us are built that way. Many of us are still built in the kind of employee mindset. So it's kind of a next level of push through, that kind of climbing that mountain type of thing to really shift those other things, which it's brilliant that you've gone through that for the last couple of days, because it is a big deal, it is a big deal and I think the best part about what has happened this year is, for anybody who's ever even toyed with the idea in the back of their mind that they might want to work from home, well, guess what? You've now had a direct experience of it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Or what do you need to create to make it work for you?
Right. So my thought, because, we've already covered mindset, which is really that foundation that, like I said, money doesn't fix you. And the problem with learning how to make money without is, one, it becomes very hard to keep because your mindset isn't right and your values change based on that, but you haven't experienced how to, handle it correctly. And so we get that out of the way. And I'm so proud of everybody in here. They did such a good job looking internally and being willing to share that kind of vulnerable side of, like, I have this thing that I know holds me back and I don't want it to. And being willing to dive into that, especially in a group setting, already sets them apart as ready to move forward. Yesterday we got into who, and it's kind of a touchy subject because some people are already they already have something to sell. So they feel like, well, how do I connect? But we started with that idea of, well, who's that segment inside that product, because the product might apply to a lot of people, but who's the segment that matters to you? You know, a lot of people could respond to, like, let's say a health product, but who's going to matter to you? Who do you connect with? What commonality do you have that makes you care about them more because of their situation? And now today we can move on to whether they have an offer, whether they want to create an offer, or what I'd like us to, focus on at first is how to be an affiliate. Because I think for most people, that is where they need to start, especially online. They don't, we all pretty much start with some lack of confidence. We don't feel like we know enough or whatever. And the reality is we do, but we need to get some wins under our belt. And that's usually easiest by selling someone else's product as an affiliate first. Okay, I'm going to just really quickly share my screen. I want to show, give me 1 second. For those of you, I'm really quickly, if you don't know what affiliate marketing is at all, go ahead and put it into the chat. Affiliate marketing, in a nutshell, is selling someone else's product and getting a commission. That's the basics of it. But I'm going to show you you might thinking, oh, my niche might not have anything if you're not used to things online. But I'm going to show you a website, and most people
that's one thing I do want to share when you've got your screen up as well, is that sometimes you can actually create your own opportunity, as a few of my friends have done as well.
Right. We'll get into that is just as soon as I show my screen. I'm just going to show you for people that aren't in the affiliate marketing, online marketing space, this is a website called Clickbank. And what it is it's a site that allows you to sell affiliate products in all of these categories. So there is a section here for like e-business and e-marketing. Okay. Whoops. Let me get back to the marketplace. So there's, products that are about internet marketing, but if you look at these titles, if you only are interested in selling online, but you don't want to sell products about how to sell online, look at all these other categories: health and fitness, home and garden, parenting. There's a lot of products that are out there that people are willing generally to give you about 50% of the price. These products, they convert well, they, can make a lot of money. So like here's one in the health and fitness category, okay, called Resurge. I don't know this one. It's just the first one that popped up. But look, the average sale is over $100. And it looks like, it doesn't say right here, but you'll probably get about 50% of that. And all you're having to do is drive traffic to that offer. You don't have to fulfill it. You don't have to anything once they buy, and you can make $50. And there's more and more and so on. That's just the idea that affiliate marketing, and this is just one site that people use, especially when they're getting started, because it has so much available to them. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for now. That's just the concept. It's one, just to get your mind around. If you're going, okay, I know something about this, but I don't know, this certain subject, but I don't know enough to create a product yet, or I don't feel like it. There are other people out there that have already created quality products that you can sell. And then it is about your who, because you already know the subject and what they're looking for. And then you just find a product that you can place into it for them. That's the essentials of affiliate marketing.
One story I do have with regards to Clickbank is there's actually one of the top selling products in the self-help and sort of personal development area is actually a numerology product. And Jason Fladlian, who we're both learning from as well and partnering with on different projects, he actually did an affiliate offer about Amazon selling to a numerology audience. So it's kind of like there's it's a way of being quite creative in how the niches can actually cross over and interchange sometimes as well. So
Right.
whatever it is you're looking at, kind of how you can, you know, be of service to somebody and what offers would suit, it's not to say that it has to stick in that one niche all the time.
Right.
You can actually start to kind of do these verticals as well.
Right. Well, and something that like you and I have recognized, when someone wants to improve their life in one area, they're generally the type of person that wants to improve it in all areas. So they might start by being interested in, let's say, a health product, but they might also be interested in a revenue stream of how to work online, because they are looking to improve themselves, and that is their nature. So yeah, it's definitely opens that up.
Yeah.
Okay, where am I at? So let's talk for a second. There are some people in here that already have a product, okay? Because they're in like a network marketing company or something like that. They're a real estate agent, so they have I mean, they're selling other people's houses, which, you know, they get a commission on, which is an essential affiliate marketing. Yeah. It seems almost like, well, then why would my who matter, or what type of things like, and what I'm leading down the road is the idea of what someone offers as like a lead magnet. Okay. And this is maybe a term that might be familiar to people or not. I'm going to check the chat really quickly. If you know what a lead magnet is, I want to just make sure that the terms that I'm using don't just go over people's head. Okay. And, you know, some affiliate marketing companies, they have a lead magnet, but creating one of your own, and Jody knows this, having your own lead magnet that is direct to you and it's personal to you is that much easier of a way to connect to somebody, even if you're leading to like a network marketing product. So.
Absolutely. The saying is, the money's in the list. But when you dive a bit deeper and it's like, well, who's on your list? Well, people are on your list, and the people are the people that you're wanting to serve, your audience. So you're looking at your audience, your tribe, your posse, like your like minds, kindred spirits, whatever you want to name your following as. And it's quite strange, because when you actually look at what is still classed as the number one marketing avenue, even after all these years and with all these new fandangle things that are available, email marketing is still the number one and the highest converting of all marketing aspects. So how do you email market unless you grow or build a tribe? Right. So that tribe, that audience, that who, the only way that they can become a part of your world, well, it's not the only way. I mean, obviously there's the traditional offline kind of networking, grabbing business cards, keeping a bit of a file or a CRM, if you know what that means, like putting names and addresses in together. There's also like starting a Facebook group and having a community of people, which is the path that I went down. But it was back at a time where, it wasn't possible to link up Facebook to an email marketing service, or otherwise known as an autoresponder. So it was great that I grew my group to over 11,000 people, but my list did not equate to that. So right. I had communication, I had a platform, I had a channel as such. And a platform is another term that I love hearing Russell Brunson talk about. Your platform can be your podcast or your blog or your YouTube channel or your Facebook page or group or your Instagram or whatever. That's kind of your platform, but your platform audience is not going to always hear and see and be tuned in at the same time that you're there. In order to make sure that you can reach them, the more you can get them onto your email list via, as you said, the lead magnet. The lead right. magnet is what attracts them into your world, your communication. And it's quite funny, because a good email marketer is actually going to probably email their audience, their list, their tribe, their posse more than what they would even communicate with their own family. So it becomes very intimate,
Right. Well, and the thing is because we have so many people in this group that are from very different, businesses, walks of life, you know, like some have not started at all and some are already thriving, giving this one solution that fits for everybody, of what exactly they should do next, it's not an easy process. But understanding that foundation of having a quality product, whether it's something that's built by somebody else, their affiliate for it, and a way to grow that who. And that's why it's so important to focus on someone specific in your who, is because when you are communicating to like an email list, you're writing to a large group of people, but you got to remember it is people that are receiving that, and they need to feel like they're talking to. So if you're trying to talk to people that are in all, different sorts of whatever, it's very hard to connect to them one-on-one through an email list. And that's why things like lead magnets show that they have an interest in what you are offering, and because it solves their problem. We'll get into that more of why that's important in your offer. That way you can communicate to them directly and correctly in a way that resonates with them. So one of the things, because we don't start out as experts, right? Okay. I mean, I didn't. When when I got online in 2009, keyword-based domain names were really, really hot. And so, but I didn't understand like what that meant. So I had like a little tool, like a keyword tool that would search like how many people had searched in Google for a keyword, and there was a lot of competition and whatever. And I had a background in flipping cars. Like I've owned more cars than the years that I've been driving, because I knew how to find them and buy them for cheap and then turn around and sell them for more. So I wanted to teach that. So I thought, what would be a good keyword to find? So I found through the tool, cheap used cars for sale was a good keyword. But obviously cheapusedcarsforsale.com was not available. So and not understanding how domain names worked or anything, my very first website was literally cheap used cars for sale .org, because I had no idea. But you know what? That site, because it was answering a problem, guys wanted to know how to do this because they were tired of paying dealership prices, and they would come across this site that says, wait, he's not selling cheap used cars for sale. He's teaching me how to find them myself. I made hundreds of dollars off that site. Okay. I took one little thing that I knew how to do and I shared it. So what most people are thinking right now is, I don't know anything.
Well, I'm going to, and I know that affiliate marketing is definitely the easiest. So it's almost like, if the very first thing, if you're starting at ground zero, the first thing you need to be looking at is, how can I build an email list? Like, even if I don't know what I can offer as an affiliate
we're gonna cover that on Friday. We're not there yet.
I know. So it's like that kind of like, that's that first thing. But looking for an affiliate offer, you may want to actually even look at that lead magnet side of things, with the affiliate offers coming later. I'm trying to bring it around to kind of what happened to me with my international house sitting. We literally
tell people what that is, by the way, because that'll probably just, when I first heard you say that, I went, what? Yeah. Which is funny because my brother does the same thing. But when you said international house sitting, I was like, it just didn't really register.
Okay, so yeah, basically there are websites out there, and there's a hell of a lot more now than when I first started. They're a bit like a matchmaking service. So basically there's people, families, generally with pets, about 80% of them are with pets. And if they're booking some time away, they like to have people come into their home and just keep the home running as it should be, mainly to keep the pets routine, going, and security and all that kind of stuff. So the international side of house sitting is very different to, say, a domestic pet sitting service. So a domestic pet sitting service would be, yep, okay, I'm going away for a week. I need you to look after my dog or my cat or whatever. You'll pay somebody to either come in daily, or they can come and stay for the week, or what have you. Very different ball game when it's international, because legally you can't work in the different countries that you go to. So it is truly based on the trust economy. We call it fair exchange. We come into somebody's home, and right now I'm in the Baja California Sur in Mexico for 5 months, living completely rent-free, and I don't get paid because I don't have to pay. So it's an exchange of services. And ultimately, having had 95% free accommodation for the last 7.5 years, my cost of living is about 70% less than what it was when I lived in a fixed location, which of course frees up a lot of energy and space and everything, even without being a minimalist now. But it frees up a lot of time and energy and less worry about finances when you are trying to kind of bootstrap your business online and learn things and do things. So really what happened was, when we first started doing this and realized that we wanted to keep doing it because it's just an amazing lifestyle, we just started noticing how many people ask the question, how do you get started with this thing that you do? How do you get started? One girl in London who actually knocked on the door, she was trying to sell us, I don't know, donation things or raffles or something. And legally, we weren't even allowed to buy it because we weren't a resident of the UK. And she's like, what are you doing here? And we told her, and she went, oh my God, you have literally changed my entire world with this information. This is exactly what I want to do. Thank you so much. We literally walked in the door after she said that. The energy exchange was so huge, and instantly bought, funnily enough, a keyword domain, internationalhousesitting.com. So started it as a blog, didn't end up continuing it as a blog, but we realized that there was nowhere for people doing what we did to communicate online. That these websites that are out there have the house sitter communicate with the homeowner, but there's nowhere for the house sitter to talk to the house sitter. We like to be able to kind of know that there's other people doing what you do. It's that real sense of community. So we started the first Facebook group, which brought the community together, and it exploded. It went huge. But it took about almost a year of answering the same questions over and over. And I mean, if you've got a group that's growing exponentially and you're answering the same questions, there comes a time where you're like, hang on a minute, there's got to be a way I can leverage my time here. And it came in the form of, well, maybe we should put together a course on this. But we didn't put the course together first. And we were chasing one of the platforms to get an affiliate program, and they still didn't have it in place. So for about a year, we kept every week writing to them, have you got your affiliate program? Have you got your affiliate program? We are sending you tens of thousands of dollars worth of business, and we're getting nothing for this. Like, we want to, at least be earning for our efforts. And so finally, they came up with the affiliate program at about the same time that we just threw out this idea of like, well, if we were going to put a course together, who would buy it? Well, 12 people bought it before we even created it. So it was proof of concept. It gave us the time to build the course, knowing that it was going to sell at the end of it. But scattered throughout the course, thankfully, because we'd been on the case of this platform to get an affiliate program. And funnily enough, one of the websites is on Clickbank. Housecarers.com will actually pay you 60% to refer them customers. So that was one of the first ones that we plugged in. So our course ended up being kind of loaded with other affiliate offers, for everything, with even the transport side of things, like the flight deals and, different apps and whatever else. So it kind of became a bit of a hybrid of both answering the questions we'd already been answering, but capturing them so that we didn't have to keep, wasting time on it, but also having the affiliate referral system built into it.
Right. And you touched on something that I think is a very hard concept, especially when people are getting started online. And I see it a lot, and I see it in myself from time to time. I'll fall into this trap that if somebody else hasn't done it and doesn't show me the exact step by step, that I can't do it myself. You went, well, we're going to go this direction because nobody else has created it. Nobody else is doing what we want.
Well, there was actually a lot of books, and I think that's kind of like one thing that we get taught as well is it's actually a lot harder to go into a brand new market than it is to go to a market that's already selling something. So there was a ton of books available about international house sitting. And house sitting, and they all had funky names and people's stories or whatever. But there was no video course, so we found.
So you just found your angle in the niche, and that's the thing is the reality is I mean, unless you're literally inventing, you know, something, a whole new category of something that doesn't exist, well, then you don't have a market anyway. We're all going to be marketing to some niche that exists, but all of us we're all unique in our experience and what we bring to the table and so on. So even for someone that is starting out brand new, they might not feel that they have the authority because of longevity, but they can, I think the expression is edify the process. So, you know, with affiliate products and so on, taking something that they're already somewhat aware of and showing that the process brings results. They don't have to be the guru that brings results. They can edify that process when they're putting it in front of other people.
And look, nothing will ever beat direct experience. Now, you know, other friends of ours who started RVing around the States, they had started a blog and a YouTube channel when they, you know, just to document their journey of packing up their house and moving into an RV and, you know, getting ready to hit the road. So they're documenting along the way through their blog. They really didn't even sort of look at how could I monetize the blog or how could I monetize the YouTube channel. They just wanted to keep a record of everything. And one of their blog posts that did exceptionally well was them talking about how they had picked up this Thousand Trails National Parks pass on kind of like a reseller type of thing. So instead of buying the National Parks pass outright, you can kind of get them, and I really probably don't take it as a word for word, but this is the concept. It's kind of like a reseller type of thing. So they realized that all this traffic was going to this blog and these people were asking like, how do I get this? How do I get this? So they wrote to the guy that they got their actual pass from, and he said, you guys are sending me so much business, can I pay you for all this business? And they're like, oh, that'd be cool. So he started literally sending them $1,000 check every month, and then it just kept going up with the more traffic that they got. So they kind of, it was like a happy accident affiliate program that wasn't actually an affiliate program. And yeah, it was amazing. So, and that blog post still to this day, you know, 6 years later, still brings them in an income completely passive from the work that they did back at that start. So yeah, it's a direct experience thing, and nothing will ever beat a recommendation where you literally are just sharing the experience you had, which is perfect for the network marketers. You know, when you have a direct experience of the product or the service that you're actually, you know, happy to promote and share your story of it, you know, share your story. And then it's just recommendation marketing, you know, it's not even selling.
And that's something that we probably don't recognize how much we actually do normally. And what I mean by that is, you go and try a new restaurant and you enjoy it and there was something unique about it or whatever, and you tell your friends, hey, I just tried this place, it was really good, I liked this about it and I liked this about it, check it out sometime. And your friend goes and tries it and goes, wow, that was a great recommendation, because you just told them your experience. We get into selling mode where we're trying, you know, instead of just sharing how things have, you know, affected us, helped us. I think about like, I have an autoimmune condition. I don't know if you're aware of that, but the experience that I had with a certain nature path in town. My mom was not a doctor-driven type person. She was very along the natural side. So I've been seeing nature paths since I was a kid. But this one was very unique and I connected with her well, and she actually, like, she figured out some things that all the other doctors and so on that I'd gone to couldn't figure out.
Mhm.
Well, by nature, I don't get paid an affiliate commission to tell everybody about her, but I do because I know what it did for me. Well, we can do the same thing with the process of selling anything online, of what it can do for something, what it's done for us, especially if you are in some type of a network marketing, or you're promoting a product that you've bought into, or you have some type of connection to understand a product. I mean, you and I have been doing things like affiliate marketing long enough and whatever to understand that most affiliate marketers never even look at products they sell. And you and I are the type of people that's not cool with us.
Well,
Because,
here's the absolute best case scenario for affiliate marketing is what we know, or has been, if you even just think about it, software as a service or software as a subscription. So way back when I first started, the very first autoresponder service software that I used was Aweber. Now, I didn't stick with it, but my process since day dot has been, if I get into use something and as I start learning how to use it, I will generally kind of document, or even to help me learn. If I teach one other person what I'm learning, it's kind of like that being just that half a step ahead type of thing. It's almost like it embeds further into me if I actually teach it. So it's sort of like that learn, apply, teach kind of process helps sink in for me more than anything. So having done that way back when, like 2008 or something, I probably recommended, let's say I recommended like 5 or 6 people to use Aweber. Now, not everybody is stuck on it, but 1 or 2, I think it must be 1 person now. Every single year for the last 12 years, Aweber has sent me a check for $100 because that 1 person has stayed on there. Now, at the start, it was a couple of $100, but as a few people dropped off. But even to think that if way back then, that if I had the awareness of software as a service affiliate programs, where when somebody gets onto something that is going to help make them money, whether it be, one of these website kind of lead pages thing like ClickFunnels or Kartra or Kajabi or whatever it may be. Back in the day, it was always about hosting. So if you actually got a hosting account and you had an email service, and if you're sort of starting in this world, even when I lost absolutely everything in Dubai, like financially, I got completely wiped out. I made sure I found my money for renewing my domain name, paying for my hosting and my email service, because they were the tools that I needed to start again with. So there's some things that people will, it's like if you've got a subscription to Netflix and you hit rock bottom, maybe you're going to sit there and go, I might have to cancel my Netflix, or, I'm going to cancel my gym membership, or, there's things that you kind of different priorities will hit. But when you're in this world of like making money, there are certain softwares that you just won't let go of. So when you become an affiliate for a subscription service, it can be an amazing passive income. If I'd done back then, like even 100 people back then, that would have been a really nice annual income that I didn't even have to worry about.
Right. And so that's the thing, is these are all available out there. I mean, for anybody to promote. Some of them you have to actually, be a paid, member of, for especially like higher ticket type masterminds and stuff like that. But if let's say you went to Clickbank and you couldn't find anything on your niche, what you like are interested in, you could literally type in your word, and then affiliate after it, and you would get sites back that are about that subject and have an affiliate page. I mean, it's just, I mean, like, this is kind of like ridiculous, but like when I was back in my keyword, where I hate to admit it, my sites weren't awful. They tried to be instructive, but I started going down the road of, I would buy and promote any keyword that I knew I could rank. So I had sites like howtogetpregnantfast.com that link to a Clickbank affiliate book about getting pregnant. You know, I'm a 19-year-old kid doing this or whatever, you know, like it, but the
my
thing is
ex
it's
did the same
available.
thing. My ex did tattoo downloads, and it was doing really well. And conception health, that was another one. So like these keywords that would,
Right.
yeah,
I used to
that
have a
was
site about three-wheel motorcycles. They got really popular a while back, and I owned threewheelmotorcycle.net or something like that. And, you know, so anyways, if any of you at any point have any questions for Jody about anything she's brought up or whatever, I'm going to start getting into some examples of lead magnets and things that you want to look for, specifics in your offers. Some lead magnets I've used in the past, and where you should specifically go next, because we all have a different path, you know. So and I know everybody wants to get into how does this work for me, and I want you to get there today. So I'm going to really quick check the chat.
I'm happy to jump up if you want to continue, Seth. The only other thing I just wanted to kind of like reach out to anybody is think about anything that you are using, like you said, you know, whether it be a naturopath supplement or a person or a this or that, and literally go, well, I absolutely love the thing that I'm using right now. Can I find out if they have an affiliate program? Or if it is part of a network marketing company, then, you know, find out, you know, how it is that will be the best way to make the recommendation, which is never, ever, ever sending them to your company replicated website. Please do not do that. If you want to build your business, you need to be doing it with what Seth's teaching you. Do not send them to your website. For the real estate agents as well, think of the online space as being just that networking aspect, that like attracts like. It's word of mouth, it's recommendation. It's exactly the same offline as it is online, but you really need to build that kind of community around you, and may as well be the like attracts like, because whenever somebody is going to buy or sell, or, you know, whatever it is that they're looking for from an investment standpoint or anything, you want to be top of mind with them at all times. So find your connection point. I talk a lot about like attracts like. One of the reasons why I've had back-to-back house sits for the last 7.5 years, because we tuned into the marketing aspect of making sure that we had the best profile up that gave the best picture of who we are, not the physical picture, like the keywords as such, so that the like attracts like, and that the repelling is already there. So it's sort of like bringing the right people to us, so that it's an instant connection. So that's what happens online, offline, everywhere. I don't know. Do you want me to stick around, or do you want me to head off?
You know, I appreciate your time so much, Jody. It's been such a pleasure to have you on today. I look forward to seeing you in our Slack chat with our group. And yeah, just thank you again. There's a couple questions that
I'll
have
pop
come
into
in,
the,
but well, they're actually in my notes to cover later. So
okay, cool.
I'll let you go. Hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
And congratulations on doing this challenge. You're being like such a huge service, and it's going wonderfully. So I'm going to come into the group and just connect with everybody there and see if anyone else has got any other questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Jody.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So really quickly, Sarah asking a question about free versus paid on your lead magnet. We will get to that near the end. So I didn't miss your question. I am going to cover that, just not yet, because I want to go over what some different lead magnets are and why you would want to use different ones, and then when they should be paid or not. So I want to get into something really quickly. If any of this seems to be disconnected from you right now, make sure to make a comment about what, you know, might be holding you back or where there's a disconnect. I am going to cover a few more things for sure, but I also don't want to keep you here for another hour. So specifically, I'm going to show you on the screen a PDF by a man that is considered a selling genius. His name is Blair Warren. You may or may not have heard of him. Okay. This is called the One Sentence Persuasion Course, 27 words to make the world do your bidding. Now, I will put this in the unit when we're done, so you don't have to catch it all here, okay? I would recommend actually going through and reading this whole thing to understand what you need to be looking for in an offer and in the way it is pitched. The PDF specifically says do not skip ahead, but I'm going to skip ahead anyway, and I'm going to get to the sentence because I want to teach some lessons from it. Okay, here's the 27-word sentence. It says, people will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. Okay, it says that in a single sentence contains 5 of the most important insights I have learned in all my years of studying and applying the principles of persuasion. And then he lists them again. So what it is people, they'll do some amount of research, but they buy with their emotions. They buy with how something makes them feel. They buy with the hope that it gives them. So that's why it says something like encourage their dreams. People also don't want to feel like they're just a failure. They want a reason for it. So helping them justify why something happened, especially when it's not their fault, helps in that selling process. Put aside their fears, allay their fears. What is it about, their situation or the product they're going to buy that they're worried about? You see that a lot with like money back guarantees and so on, because people want to know they're protected and, from buying something that isn't going to bring them what they want. Confirm their suspicions is about, maybe information that's being kept at them. And also, throw rocks sounds a little bit rough, but it's about helping them recognize that they, there are people out there to get them, but you want to be the person to help them. So the point of why I'm bringing this up, and I want you to study it, when you're creating a lead magnet or you're promoting a product, you want to make sure that at least one of those things, if not all 5 of them, are being covered. If it doesn't do one of those things, then it's most likely going to miss its mark on connecting with people. Okay? That's just a real brief lesson about your offer, whether you create it yourself, okay, or you're, using a network marketing company. If you're using a lead magnet in between, make sure that it does at least one of, if not multiples of those things. Okay, so I'm going to show you now a example of what can you solve, okay? Because right now I can imagine some of you are still sitting there going, yeah, but I don't know what to offer. I don't know. Well, let's think again about our who. What are their problems? Where are they stuck? What do they fear? What do they want? What do they need? Okay. Any type of offer or product or lead magnet should answer some type of that question. Okay. So let me share something. This is just a slide that I took. And this was specifically about people working in network marketing or affiliate marketing. 5 challenges that they have that they don't know how to overcome. Okay. They don't want to harass their friends and family. So can you create a lead magnet that talks about, or an offer, or find an affiliate offer that helps them to bypass having to get their friends and family into the business, instead be able to grow it online? They don't want to face rejections. Well, maybe instead of having to do the closing themselves, You have some offer in there that allows a barrier in between so that the closing is basically done for them and they don't have to get rejected. People don't know how to generate leads. Could you give them a way to bring in some simple traffic for whatever their business is? They can't close or recruit. Well, maybe they don't have to. Maybe that's handed off to somebody else in the process for either a fee, or if, let's say, it's your upline or it's the affiliate person that created the course itself. They can't duplicate. Show them a system that already does so they don't have to figure it out on their own. This just starts to get you to think how you can solve one little problem, and that solution that you put in somebody can either be your lead magnet or it can be your complete offer. If you know your who, if you're convinced about your product that you're selling as an affiliate or the people that need it, you already know what they're going through, what's holding them back. If you love your who, there's already a solution inside your head. You just might not have, fleshed it out yet. Okay. So what we're going to do now is, now that you see that you don't have to figure out a lot to either start with the lead magnet or find an offer, then I'm going to show you a PDF, and I'm going to also give you access to it, of course, of all the lead magnets that you could possibly think of. Okay. And the reason that I want to show this to you is because most of these probably won't just automatically come up in your head. I got to make sure where I put it. There we go. Give me just 1 second. All right. This is called 157 list building ideas. These are lead magnets. Okay. So once you figured out either what the problem is, what solutions they're looking for, or what, let's say you have the product that you figured out. Let's say you are interested in people that want to do keto. I don't know. That's just a buzzword right now in my head. And you find an affiliate product for keto. And it does a great job and you feel comfortable and you want to sell that, but you want to get people interested. Maybe you start with a lead magnet about keto from one of these ideas. Okay. And we're just going to look at them really quick because there's a ton and you're going to want to go through them because it will help you see what you can do. Okay. Okay. A how-to ebook. Maybe that feels a little bit too much to take on right off the bat, especially if you have no experience. Maybe not. Ebooks are really easy to create now. And there's a lot of free content out there. Never plagiarize, never copy, but you can take concepts from something else, rewrite it from your experience, and that can be an ebook. You can create a resource list. Okay. When I found out about an autoimmune condition, I needed a resource list of what I could eat because I needed to drastically change my diet. I needed a resource list of what I could and what I couldn't, and I needed to carry it around with me. And somebody had one for me. I was grateful for it. I would have paid for it. They gave it to me for free as a lead magnet. Okay. You can do some type of video training, which sometimes might just be even just you recording your introduction about whatever affiliate product and what problem it solves so that they know they're not going to waste their time looking at it. Okay. You could have graphics made. You could have a calendar done. Let's say you were doing some type of challenge where you wanted to give them 30 days of something that they needed to do. Planning sheets, a coupon for something, a small mini course, a live webinar. It goes on and on about, let's say you're in, teaching something where they need to buy physical products for the solution. Write the product list them, make a gear list for them. Okay. Free samples, even access to a private Facebook group can be a lead magnet where they're going to be with like-minded people, that it's not just open to the world, but only those that are going to be facing that same issue with them. There's some value in that. Plus there's some security in that for people. Okay. Participation in a challenge. Okay. You could do exactly what we're doing here. talk about something for a few days that you've learned about, because there are people that haven't learned about it yet and need to know. Okay. It goes on: quizzes, audios, templates, just so many things. I mean, literally, I think, what did it say? 127 different things that you can look at. I mean, all of these things are ways that you can get in front of somebody with a little bit of value as your lead magnet. Okay. Why do I keep hounding this? Okay. It's exactly what Jody talked about. We're going to cover this on Friday, but eventually you're going to want to grow your following. You're going to want to grow an email list, because it is still the best way to communicate in a mass, platform, to, make offers, to, really connect with your audience. We're going to teach some different traffic strategies tomorrow, including like Facebook and stuff like that. But, at some point you're going to want to build an email list, maybe not right off the bat, especially if you're brand new and starting out and you have no money to do anything. And we'll cover a strategy about how to do that tomorrow. Okay. But long-term, the saying, the money's in the list, is still true, because you can continue to sell, things that are of value to that group over and over again. I started building a list back in 2017-ish. I'm not exactly sure, but around 2016, 17. And there are still people on that list today that from time to time will buy something from me because they see the value in it. And they've learned the value in me and what I provide, and trust in me to know that I am going to be there along the way when they buy a product, and I'm not just going to disappear. I mean, I read this story. I read it actually today. Somebody trying to get started in internet marketing and affiliate marketing. They bought 2 different high-end products after the person worked and worked and worked to get them into it. And the second that they bought, they've never heard from the person again. And that makes me sick. You want to know that the people that you are, going to work with, if you're going to buy something from them, make sure that they're going to be around. They're going to help you, that they do have your best interest at heart. And it's not about a buck. Be that person for them too. Don't just hawk products to try and line your pockets. I mean, I'm guessing you're not in that. If you're in this group, you probably aren't geared that way, because I'm not geared that way. And you wouldn't resonate with me. So I'm guessing that you're not that type of person. Okay. We're almost done. I'm really grateful. I'm grateful to all of you for putting your trust in me this week. And I hope I'm doing you justice and really helping you lay a foundation for what's to come, what success you can inevitably have if you just put in the work. Okay. So very specifically for me, when I was growing my Amazon list, my lead magnet, now I did have some experience selling on Amazon. Okay. So it helped, so I could edify my own process. But again, if you're learning something, your lead magnet can be your story of how you've gone through the process, and you can document it. You can talk about what you did well and didn't do well, and what worked and what didn't, because there are people that haven't even started yet that need to know that information from you. So my course was called the $100 Startup, and it was meant to show you how to get started with only $100 in inventory on Amazon. And most courses were teaching that it would cost between $2,000 to $5,000 in inventory to get started. And a lot of people didn't have that. So my lead magnet was literally showing them in a live video that I recorded, that I went in, how I found a product, how I found how cheap I could buy it, what I could sell it for, and the profit margin that was there, and exactly how I did it. I showed them that I knew what I was talking about. And then they bought the full course that taught every single step by step, so that they wouldn't have to figure it all out on their own. That was my lead magnet. But I've also had a lead magnet as little as saying, hey, I'm going to teach you how to do this. Give me your email address. If it's a big enough problem, if you hit somebody's, desire and pain point and whatever, sometimes just telling them behind your email address is the solution, that can be enough. So don't overestimate it, or underestimate it, whatever. That sometimes you just need to hit that pain point. And the more direct you can hit a, pain point that you can solve for someone, the quicker you're going to attract them. Okay. And that's why knowing your who is so important, because the better you know your who, the better you can communicate with them. The more you know their pain points, the more you know how to get them out of the situation they're in. Okay. This goes back to Sarah's question. I'm going to give you a link in the chat if I can do this correctly. Hey, thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate that much. Okay, so I'm going to give you a link in the chat. You can, I don't know whether that opens in another page or not. Don't close this one out. But this is a lead magnet, okay? This is a lead magnet for a product called Double Your Productivity. And oops, I'm not sharing my screen yet. I'm not doing this right. Hold on a sec. See, you don't have to get everything right for people to still pay attention to you. Okay, now I've got it. All right, so this is called Double Your Productivity. By this right here is Jason Fladley, and this is my mentor. This is, he started me on Amazon back in 2014. I now am in more of a partner relationship with him through an affiliate cooperative. That's how I met Jody. It's pretty awesome. It does a lot of the work for us as affiliate marketers. Unfortunately, it is closed to the public at the moment, so I won't get into it too much. But if you are an affiliate marketer, want to be affiliate marketer, you'll want to, keep this in mind, reach out, ask me about it, just simply because when it does open it up, it is really incredible as far as what it does for affiliate marketers and the problems it solves for them. Okay. So this is a lead magnet. All right. It's a book that is $9.95. And right in here, it talks a little bit about me, about my successes and failures, my interactions with Jason and why I trust him and what he teaches. And then this is a long form lead magnet, okay? But that's because, as you see, as we go through here, everything that he talks about and all the value he gives away and what you're going to learn inside it. I mean, look how long this is. He doesn't hold back, because this lead magnet at the end is not free. This lead magnet is $9.95. Now, it is very truthfully still for sale for $50, this course on Jason's website. Because of being part of that affiliate cooperative, he lets me sell it for $9.95 and use it as a lead magnet for my list. Okay. But if you're going to ask somebody to give you $9.95 for a lead magnet, it really, really, really needs to be worth it. Okay. So I hope that starts to answer your question, Sarah, is yes, a lead magnet can be paid, but you do need to provide a significant amount of value, because the reality is you're putting a lead magnet in front of generally people that don't know you yet, and you're asking them to immediately part with money. So one, it needs to be relatively inexpensive, under $10, but it also has to be the fact that that still to this day sells for $50 on Jason's site and people pay it when they see they can get it for 10, it's almost a no-brainer. But for the most part, most lead magnets are free. Now, you can do tiered lead magnets. And now let me talk about what that is for a second. And this is getting kind of deep, but I want it to, I want you to have these things starting to go around through your head, okay? You can have tiers of what you want to describe as commitment, okay? Because the reality is especially if you're still like working a job and trying to do this online at the same time, you don't have all the time in the world. So you want to spend it with the people, your time with people that are committed. So you can have a free lead magnet, and when I say free, they still need to put in their email address for it, but it doesn't cost them anything. That's not a high level of commitment because they can just unsubscribe once they get the lead magnet. And that's the reality of it. Okay, no big deal. The second lead magnet is something that's like $1. It's just enough of a lead magnet. Like maybe it's a special report that's more than just a page or two. It's, like a 13-page report with, whatever, and somebody pay $1 for it. And, you're actually having to put some work into that. And then you can have a high commitment ebook or something like that, where maybe it's closer to $7 to $10, where those people are showing that they're committed because they're willing to spend that money with you up front. And usually those are the, high ticket coaching things, not just an affiliate product that you're selling on the back end of that. But it also depends on, what type of market you're in. If you're selling stuff that, is fairly cheap, then a high dollar lead magnet doesn't really make sense. But a high dollar lead magnet, when they're going to spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 with you, then it totally makes sense to find those people that are committed, especially if you're going to be doing things like talking to them on the phone for an hour. You don't want to spend that with somebody who is only into a freebie. You will inevitably have people like that buy the $7, or $10 thing and then have no interest, but that's okay. I mean, it's just a law of numbers and trying to improve your game. But I hope that kind of gives you a better idea of most of the time, like the majority of time, lead magnets, especially starting out, is free. What you're doing is providing value to them. You're providing some trust and concept that and are an authority on what you're sharing with them. Especially so, like if let's say you're in a network marketing company and you sell a health product. Well, your lead magnet could be a report that shows, what specific things, will affect their health. And then the solution is your product. That's just for instance, off the top of my head. So I'm going to leave this open. If you have any questions right now, go ahead and start putting them in the chat. I'm going to talk to you about your homework today because we're already at an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to go over mine. And so you can kind of start to understand. We're going to talk about product, how you can look for product, and putting together your lead magnet in your homework. Okay. And just keep in mind, this is how it applies to you. Okay. So now, one of the things that I know very well and I teach is Facebook organic marketing. Okay. How to reach the right people, how to get them into your offers and so on through that process instead of paid ads. And I'm not talking about Instagram. I'm not talking about LinkedIn. I know Facebook because I understand algorithms because of my days in Amazon and having to work with those. And I understand Facebook's, and I'm pretty good at it. And so that is one of my who's, is people that want to learn how to do that, especially because they don't have ad spend. Maybe they're just getting started. And the ads game is tough. I do ads too, but you got to be careful how quickly your money can run away. And so we're going to actually talk about the Facebook organic marketing tomorrow as a possible traffic strategy for you. But that's what my who is based on. Okay. And this is day 3 about what your offer and your lead magnet should be, but it's based on that who, just so you understand, okay? So it says, the problem I want to solve for my who is they don't know how to accurately use Facebook to grow their business and turn it into high ticket sales. They just don't know. There's things that they do and do improperly on Facebook that's ruining their ability to actually connect to their audience, to actually make a sale. And I want to help them solve that problem. I can solve this problem by showing them the exact steps for creating results, value, and lifestyle that I follow day to day in my own. It is always good to look when you're looking at your offer or potential offer, somebody that's also already helping in your space. Okay. So the person that is already helping my who is named Peter Barry. Okay. He's excellent at it. He has a huge following. He has a great course. I think we've actually talked about it a little bit, called EPP. Okay. But I can offer a better solution because I'm able to be more hands-on. Peter's too big for people to access one-on-one anymore. I'm not. That's how I can improve on what he does. My own experience tells me that I can provide them a solution if I continue to reach out and authentically offer my help, because I've already helped many others and can provide for myself and them monetarily through this structure. One simple product, so this is like a lead magnet, I can put together to help them out is the initial steps to get started, okay? In order to help the most, I will eventually need to have a mastermind that delves deep into each one's personal situation, okay? So right now, I know how to do it. I teach how to do it, but I do not have a high-end, group one-on-one style coaching to help people really see exactly how it applies to themselves. I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. I need to do that because they need it. There are other products out there that offer similar, but most of them are not hands-on. Most of them are just case studies or things like that, which are great. And the help that I can offer now is when somebody is in one of those masterminds, like the EPP mastermind, if someone buys like that product through my affiliate link, my guarantee to them is that I will go through it with them, because they're not going to get one-on-one help. They're going to get depth and steps and so on, but I'm really good at pinpointing what their actual needs are. You can look at a concept of something like, it talks about what your profile picture should look at. But my help is that I can tell somebody specifically for their situation because I'm present, and that's the value I can offer. So there's your homework, okay? Specifically, if you already have a product, like a network marketing company or a physical product or something, I want you to focus on what your lead magnet could be. If you don't know what you want to sell yet, then I want you to focus on who your who is and what you already know and what type of product you could sell. Even go on clickbank.com and look for products that maybe you could sell, or type in, let's say you're into something like keto, type in keto affiliate program and look around. There will be some out there that you could promote. See what value you could bring in the form of a lead magnet or an offer, because really at the end of the day, that's what you're going to want. It's great to be an affiliate. It's very great. Affiliate marketing is what most people should do online, especially starting out. But in time, you do need to create your own product. Now, I'm a little bit of I don't like that expression, so I'm not going to use it. I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I have an Amazon product, but I don't teach Amazon anymore because I don't like where it's headed in the way I used to teach it. I don't think it's as viable, and so I don't think it's appropriate for me to sell a product that I don't think is going to work as well. And I have yet to create my own affiliate marketing product because I'm in this affiliate cooperative that's so helpful, that does most of it for me, that I would rather teach people and bring them into that, because that's where the value lies. And I need to now, as soon as the challenge is done, get into working on, you know, how I can help people the most in that in-between area. So yeah, I'm a hypocrite sometimes, and I make mistakes, and I'm, you know, don't always, you know, haven't always followed the advice that I'm giving because I know I should. And so is life. Sorry for being honest, right? Anyways, I love you guys. Get your homework done. Just remember, there's never a wrong answer with your homework. Don't feel like you have to have it figured out. You could get on a live and go, you know what? I don't know how to answer this. I'm thinking this and I'm thinking that, but can you guys help me out? Look how many comments are going on people's lives of people talking about what they've done, what's worked for them. That's the power of, you know, a group like this, is we're already helping all of each other. It's not just me. Everybody in the group is helping each other's and resonating that way. And that's a fantastic thing. So anyways, I did make a post, if you haven't seen it yet, about some of you have reached out to me very specifically about coaching after this. I told you this would not be a pitch fest, and that I didn't have an offer for you, and that's still true. But now several of you have reached out, and I'm in this kind of spot where, like, I don't want to go back on my word that I wasn't going to have an offer, but I also don't want to leave you hanging. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to come up with some type of survey or questionnaire that, if you feel you need help after this in any sense of the form, whether it's just like, I have this one little problem, or I need a software recommendation or something, that, but also those that are looking at the bigger picture of, like, I might need a lot more, just so I can understand your situation. Because the reality is, I know I'm not the answer for everybody, but because of my connections, I often know who is. And I am always willing to share those, whether I get paid for it or not. So anyways, yes, Johnny, I will be putting that out. Oh, I don't think I'm understanding your question. But yes, go live. If you haven't, that's okay. I'm not reading your question right. But anyways, I'm going to try and have that up for you within like the next 24 hours or so, because I want to get to your personal situations before our challenge is actually done. Because then I can give more one-on-one help that way, or whatever that turns into. I don't have any plans to like close this group afterwards. I just won't be as active every day as, like, you know, this. But it should still, I don't have a reason at this point to close it, so we can still help each other. Yes, the homework. If you're doing the homeworks live, you're able to get more feedback from me and from others in the moment. And then it's not always just inside your head and your own ideas. The more you engage with others on things like that, the more benefit you're going to get out of it, Johnny. So if you're comfortable doing that, if you're not, well, you seemed comfortable on your live the other day, you can even just post a picture of it, or write it out in a post. Anyways, okay, that's it. I'm rambling. We've been at an hour and a half almost already. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, morning, whatever, if you're going to watch the replay or whatever. I will see you all tomorrow for traffic. See you later. Bye.